Right, our time in Cinnabar Island is done. Time to get back in the water and start moving back to Pallet Town. Really wish there was something to look forward to when we get back to our hometown. Nope. It's just a location that happens to be between us and the gym in Viridian City. And there's not going to be anything worth doing in Viridian other than the gym. And I severely doubt it's going to take us all that long to fight against Giovanni in his gym as it did to get around to fighting Sabrina in her town. Or Blaine in the one we just left behind. Level 5. After everything we've done so far, utterly insulting. Especially since it's not like we could have surfed over these waters earlier than at least our 5th gym badge. Well, 32 is less insulting, but still so easy that it's barely a speed bump. Especially since our grass type is at the front of the line here. Great! Now I feel tempted to just fast forward through the trainers we're going to run into in the water. Sure, keeping score has given me something to talk about, but the score has reached such large numbers as kind of enhancing my lack of interest in the unnamed trainers we keep running into. Seriously, just because Phyllis has managed to get 126.5 wins due partly to this battle doesn't feel like much of a benchmark to me. It's not like I made any special marks on the scorecard to signify difficult wins over easy ones, after all. Then it's a good sign you should go back to shore and maybe start dealing with those sunburns. At the very least, I don't envy the night you're gonna have sleeping on those things. Certainly took long enough for us to see another one of those. Such a shame for this poor bastard that we have just the right counter for that. Ready here and now. You know, I really wouldn't have minded having a starfish like that on the team. There are just so many great water types, especially since it's the most common type. And again, that generally makes it pretty tough for me to pick a water starter in any given generation. Hell, I've had the occasional playthrough of a game where I ended up restarting simply because I felt guilty for picking the water starter and not giving any of the wild waters a chance as a member of the team. Not that we grabbed Takanabori or Nereid from the wild, but you kinda get my point. Not really sure I'd call Goldeen or Sea King a water type I'd like on my team, though. This isn't me bashing it for having certain stats. I literally don't know what its stats are and don't care to look. It's just a case of me not liking the appearance of a fish with a horn on its head. Not liking a Pokemon's appearances has solid a reason to not really want anything to do with it outside of fighting against it in my book. Though I apologize to anyone who does like that fish. And with how popular Pokemon is, statistically speaking, I probably pissed off quite a large number of people by saying I don't like the looks of a Gen 1 fish and its evolution. Right, that's another trainer down. Now to deal with the other guy on this random pier. Indeed we did, and we've still got a good amount of time left to burn through before we're done with this game. pretty sure a Pokemon battle is more likely to scare away any fish than us deciding to talk to you. But then for all I know, getting into a battle could attract some fish because the damn fish are Pokemon. It's not like I know the rules around here. Excuse me for not being intimidated by that super effective hit again. Assuming I haven't gotten the counting wrong, that should be Kohaku's 117th win. Well, that beam had some more bite to it, but not enough for me to feel all that worried. On a vaguely related note, I probably should have taught Kohaku a lightning move instead of Bubble Beam. Sure, I taught him Bubble Beam back when we didn't have that many options against fire types. But this far in, that move looks a little dumb on this particular Pokemon, unfortunately. Since most of the TMs in this game are completely irreplaceable, I feel downright guilty about making a Pokemon forget a move I might have taught them earlier on. Ironically, I'd prefer to get a Pokemon to forget an HM move since I can use HMs as often as I like, but the game won't let you forget HM moves as an attempt to prevent someone from forgetting a move critical for the overworld while in a dungeon that might need strength or surf. While I certainly appreciate that level of caution for strength and surf, specifically, I don't think the other HM moves are quite so critical. Flash is literally only useful in one cave, and we managed to find our way through it without the damn thing. Fly doesn't actually help us much in the overworld, it just saves time on backtracking, which might have helped make Blaine more difficult if I had done the whole Pallet Town to Cinnabar route, but I somehow doubt that that was the intention for the move, and there is no other reason to backtrack. It was probably meant to help people who are going for 100% Pokedex completion, which I am not among. And Cut hasn't been used in a dungeon in a long time, or even outside all that often once we got past Celadon. And annoyingly enough, in the next generation, they aren't going to do anything to make the 3 HMs I mentioned feel any more useful both on and off the battlefield as far as I remember. We are just going to gain 2 more Water HMs, which feel underwhelming compared to Surf in battle, and are absurdly circumstantial outside of combat. One of which won't make it to the 3rd generation, replaced with another Water HM that will, again, only last for 1 game. Again, really getting the sense that the Water type seems to be getting the most love in this series, sure. It's never the most powerful Pokemon type, with Psychic and Dragon certainly having more moments at the absolute top of the force food chain here, but still. Might have to run back to the center again, simply because Kohaku is getting worn down rather quickly here. Probably should have switched out Kohaku, if only because his speed has gone down here. Yeah, I kinda deserved that from my greed there. Definitely heading back to the center after this. Probably not a great idea to send a Pokemon weak to water against this guy, but we still have a 10 level advantage over him. Okay, that's what I get for thinking Marbleback would resist a super effective hit the same way as Kohaku. Am I making the same mistake again? Apparently not! Garm had the speed to avoid taking a hit in the first place. Really helped seal the deal there. Personally, I prefer mountains over the ocean, but it's not like the graphics in this game do either environment any favors, especially since part of the thing that makes both environments look so great is how the sun hits them from different angles, and that's certainly not a thing that's going to be possible on an old Game Boy game. Kind of hoping we won't have to return here again, but with our luck, we will. Oh, only the fact that we're not allowed on the water unless we taught a Pokemon to surf, and while that's the only HM I have absolutely no issue with whatsoever, in battle or out of it, it's still a bit annoying to see so many people who don't need to use their Pokemon to get across the big blue wet thing around here. Good job leveling up there, Kohaku. You've got 120 wins, a pretty solid number. Now let's see if Marbleback is going to add to his score in here, or if he's just too absurdly fragile against water types despite being a designated tank. I wouldn't say that outright restored my faith, but it was still nice to see there. Not feeling confident enough to leave him out there against a Tentacruel, though, considering what happened with the last one. I don't think cheap shots are a thing when we're watching Pokemon take turns blasting at each other. Classy. Apparently our silent protagonist made fun of the guy for either being fat or wearing his biker gear in the water. Personally, I just appreciate the fact that we had someone other than a fisherman or a swimmer to fight, even if he just threw more water Pokemon at us as we cross what's left of the ocean between Cinnabar and Pallet Town. Really? Over 12 levels difference, and we didn't do a one-hit win in this fight? Ugh. At least he was dumb enough to use a flying-type attack against Marbleback instead of something water-related. Why would it have Peck instead of Horn Attack, though? I don't think a fish with a horn on its head would really be able to quickly peck at something, and would just do a full-on quartering charge there. Either I have a misunderstanding of what they mean by pecking, or they didn't give a damn about how some of these moves would be visualized, because they didn't plan on actually visualizing these Pokemon ever using these attacks in any media. Really pretty embarrassing that a bunch of evolved fish only did so much damage to a rock. Granted, this gives Marbleback a chance to gain experience on our way to the next gym, but I somehow doubt Giovanni is going to be all that much stronger than Blaine was. Maybe you should do more to make the fish you caught improve rather than just keep trying to find more fish to make up for the lack of quality. Is it gonna be too much to ask that this guy doesn't have a lot of horny fish to throw at us? A Magikarp that much lower level than a Tackle wasn't enough to one-hit him? Dear God, I've got the distinct feeling that Marbleback is gonna usurp Garm in terms of feeling like the least impressive member of our team this far into the game. Granted, he's got a higher number on his scorecard, and this trainer looks like he's gonna give us plenty more for Marbleback's score. Not that it's much of an accomplishment to absolutely rip through a full team of nothing but Magikarps. Sadly enough, I know this guy was probably meant to be a joke, but considering how Takanabori has shown himself in this playthrough, seeing a bunch of Magikarps over level 20 that haven't evolved yet, that's just sad. Almost as sad as Marbleback missing with Tackle, a very accurate move, twice, despite there being nothing to affect his accuracy here. Please don't tell me this is going to be the only other trainer in all of Kanto who has a full 6 Pokemon team, other than Gary and the player. There certainly seems to be a decent amount of difference with each tackle how much damage is accomplished. Again, I really wish the game gave us more information to work with here. And with that, we should be done playing around with fishes. Don't blame your Pokemon for your inability to get them to evolve when they're more than ready at this point. I swear, the more we interact with supposedly normal trainers, the more disconnected I feel Jack is from his peers. No wonder the first generation's player character decided to become a badass hermit for the second generation. He was raised to meet all challenges, and these are the quality of challenges he had to deal with until another player character finally climbed up to meet him. At least, going off to beat Red in the second generation will feel like a far more interesting endgame content thing than just filling up the Pokedex with anything we haven't already caught after beating the Elite Four. That's just gonna take a while for me to get to, for understandable reasons. And Marbleback finally levels up after 125 wins on his card, 6 of which were from a joke of a fight that I couldn't find it in me to really find all that amusing, really. Yeah, Garm's definitely winning this exchange. Can someone please tell me the logic of how a fire puppy somehow has more water resistance than a ball of muscle and rock? Because sure, water erodes rock, but that's not exactly an instantaneous process, but water putting out fire is. But then who am I to complain about logic like that when we just got money from someone in a swimsuit who's partially underwater? I don't care what kind of materials the currency in this world is made of. You're not gonna keep your wallet on you when your pockets are gonna be in fucking salt water. I'm not even sure why that part bothers me. It's not like there's any plot going on where we need to suspend our disbelief. It's just a chain of events we have to get through before we're allowed to see the credits roll at the end. Not even sure why I made landfall there instead of Pallet Town itself. And of course, nobody has anything new to say after all the things we've done since we first left Pallet Town. I know, I've got some unfair expectations for the first generation here, but I'm not even sure why I'm judging it all this harshly, this many hours in. Maybe I just need more things to talk about.